Here we go. We are live, hopefully. Hello, everybody. Today we are doing another bridge doctor on a 12-string Takamine JJ. These take the bridge doctor wide. Don't try to install the regular bridge doctor on these. You'll have a bad time. Get yourself a bridge doctor wide. We sell them on the website. You'll need just a small pile of tools for this. All are kind of lying out. I'll kind of explain it as I go. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to not only install the bridge doctor, but we're going to calibrate this guitar to take 2 sets of 6 strings. Very common in my neck of the woods for this style guitar and music. So action is really high on the bass side, and we're even minus one of the E strings, which we'll be adding it on here. I think the final tuning of this is going to be D standard. Alright, so that looks like 2/16 on the bass side, which is really high. Yep, 2/16 on the treble side. It tapers all the way down to 1/16. That's weird. We're gonna have to cut this at an angle so that the bass side comes down and we don't drop the treble side all that much. So we got to keep that in mind as we move through this procedure. Let me check the relief. That has about the relief it needs to have. We can actually probably, I'm going to tighten it just a hair so that hopefully it can come down a little bit. And also when we add in the other string, it's going to add a little bit more tension on this. I'm not really worried about scuffing the strings with this right now because we're going to replace the strings. But while it's on here, we're going to try to get things relatively started on where they need to go. There we go, 5mm wrench on these JJs. That is tightened all the way. Let's loosen it a bit. Alright, that is very much jammed. Very much jammed. Yep. We may just have to leave this. No, it's moving. It's tightening. I tightened it a bit. We're just gonna leave it there. People really go reefing on their truss rod when their action's too high, and they should really stop. That's not what it's for. Alright, so I am basically I'm gonna cut off like 5/64 on the bass side and then taper it down to 1/64 that I'll actually remove from this saddle. I may go 6/64 or 3/32. Now people get on to me for the what is it, the fractions, but you're only dealing within a small level here, so you don't have to really do a lot of a simplification. Anyway, let's pull these strings off. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the nut slots, or we're going to cut the octaves of these 4 strings so that they're the same size as the lower octave strings. If you don't do that, like the top string, the string on my side, will sit higher than the other string, and it feels weird on your left hand. Let's pull these strings off and cut the slots. Feel free to interact with the chat. That's what this is for. It's giving me the streaming video quality error. It doesn't do this at home. I wonder why it does it here. That's okay. Let's move it forward. Hopefully the audio volume is good. Guess we'll find out after the fact. This hasn't been strung very well to begin with. Got major bends here. You don't have to tie your metal strings, people. I don't know why people still do this. It's like you can't say it helps with tuning when you string your guitar this bad. I think more often than not, people string it worse trying to tie the knots than just doing it normal. You know, they justify, well, the luthier knot ideally helps you, stay in tune better. I don't know. I've tried it both ways and they act about the same to me. I would rather just not tie the knot. I think it's a waste of time and it makes it hard to remove the string. These tuners are designed so you don't have to tie them. Nylon strings I do tie, on the other hand. But steel strings on modern tuners, no, you don't have to tie them. They work off a taper. Like, learn how to string your guitar better before you go tying knots. Every single one is tied. Hopefully the audio is getting better, but the video streaming, I'm getting the error from YouTube saying that your video stream is not ideal, but usually when I watch the playback, it's usually alright. Push up the bridge pins. Remove all the strings. And then we're going to cut the nut slots. I've done a lot of these JJs. This is probably like my 5th or 6th one. Alright, next step, we're going to get the nut files. And then I'm going to tape this off so I don't scratch anything. Here we go. And then kind of gauge by the size. So we're going to start with about a 23. The size bigger than 23. Is 24. Let's try that in the slot. And that fits the old one. Let's see if a 28 will fit. That may be too big. No, 28 fits, so we're going to cut that as a 28. 24 can stay in here. Yeah. Alright, so 28 fits the lower octave G, so we're going to take the higher octave slot and widen it with the correctly gauged nut slotting file. What I like to do actually is mark the bottom of this, the one I'm cutting with a pencil mark, and then just wait till my mark goes away, and then I'll know that I've gone down enough. I'll also hold the guitar at different angles to check it. Taking this down. And we're actually not taking it down, we're just widening it. So going through, and as I run this through there, it widens it. And then I'll look at the guitar this way and check the depth. I can go a little deeper, or rather widen it a little more. And we're just about there. It's starting to touch that pencil mark I made in there. We're good. That's it. I like to keep the ones that fit out in case after I get it strung, if I have to touch these up and do some fine tuning, I can. Alright, so 30 is the next size, so we're going to go to like 32 or 34. Well, I guess 36 is that one. Let's see how it fits in the lower octave D string. Fits great. The higher octave one. Now we're going to widen it and do the same process with the A and the E.